What are the advantages of an online service? Ease of use. Online services use graphical menus to access their different features, so the learning curve is usually very low.
Welcome back, guys, to another alleged gameplay video. Yes, GT Racers on the PlayStation 2.
Welcome to the third place. PlayStation 2! The third place!
As you can see, it's by Liquid Games. Have you ever heard of them? I haven't. There you go, that's that nice little hologram. I do like that. Licensed by Sony. Although Sony should be ashamed of themselves for licensing this. Yes, so I thought I'd share with you my immaculate copy of this. Yeah, guys, this is not going to be a very good experience. And I believe if you're one of those people that think it was a good game, yeah, you probably should have played a lot more racing titles on the PS2. There was certainly a lot to choose from. So here we go. We're getting quite a bad herringbone effect on the CRT. It's nicely synced up with the camera. But for some reason, it's insisting on giving us a hard time. Might just be the angle of the camera tonight. But welcome back to the game room. As you'll see there on the options menu, there's not a lot to this one. Don't be carried away by the GT Racers title. We have one of those generic racers. I think there were tons of them on the PS2. No licenses here. Nothing like that. Who needs those formalities? So what I had to do here was, you've got major cities to race in. But I had chosen London at night, which was a mistake. So I've just kind of edited this video slightly. I ended up racing London daytime. However, this is what you tend to notice on games of this quality for this particular era. A very poor game tends to be a very dark game, and there's obviously a reason for that. Everything's very subdued, very washed out. Yeah, so even though we end up racing in the daytime, I would still say it completely lacks that kind of vibrant look. I mean, you can see yourself here. This CRT is set to all its standard settings. You've seen me capture other games on this. They all look quite nice, but you can see how dark it is. It can hide a multitude of sins graphically. But there you go. That's that part of it. I expected that. Interestingly low, I would always say, especially a game like 18 Wheeler, for example. I don't know what it was, but I always found the Dreamcast up against the PS2 always kind of sparkled in that sense. Always had that, I don't know. Obviously, it never had the raw power, let's say, but graphically it always looked, it had more clarity, more definition for me. I don't know, and 18 Wheeler was one of those examples. Yeah, it's a weird one. Just playing this the other night got me thinking about the Dreamcast. So as you can see, we've just gone round a car. This really winds me up. We'll talk about the gameplay now. All the cars are unlicensed, but obviously based on the real thing. So I think we nearly went round, and I would say it was an F50 there. We have chosen essentially a Dodge Viper. So all the cars kind of look as they should without the licenses. They're not bizarre creations as we used to get in Ridge Racer, for example. Although Ridge Racer is a classic example of no licenses, but what a fantastic game. So what lets this down, apart from the fact that when you collide with something like I collided a while back with the kind of wall and the lamppost, the game can't work out. You know, it begins to try and reposition you, then it just gives up. You momentarily lose control. So the game sort of gets confused, doesn't really know what to do. So I've completely lost this now. I'm never gonna catch up. I mean, getting first place at this level would be quite easy. And graphically, yes, it's London, blah blah blah. There's a lot of distance drawing. The detail on the building is very drab, even when it approaches you and gets quite close. But it is what it is. It's a representation of London, fair enough, or that part of London. But the control system itself, I've played a lot of budget racing games on the PS2, and I'll tell you what, as a racing games are one of my favourite genres. Mainly kind of sim heavy as opposed to arcade, but I don't mind both. What lets a racing game down is when, as you're controlling the so-called car, if it feels more like you're simply controlling a rigid camera, then I can't explain it. That leads to a complete sense of detachment. And this is what this game feels like. So you don't have any feeling of momentum or consequence or finding the limits of the car. For the life of me, I can't work out if there's a handbrake. I've tried, I can't seem to suss that. And I can't even work out how to change the camera. I've tried every button combination, it might just be me. But the only kind of camera you can change is it will give you a rear view. That's pretty poor, guys. That's pretty poor. But yeah, you don't have any feeling of consequence, inertia. You don't get any kind of handling characteristics. It's kind of like just flying a fixed camera, as if it were a tech demo to show someone that you've managed to build the track. And the physics of the cars and everything else comes later. It's the one aspect that totally destroys any racing game. And finally, all these budget games lack the most rudimentary replay feature, and this is one of them. This is one of them, unless you get it when you come first. I doubt it. But guys, take care. That was GT Racers, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Why have you got a big pot of wheat in your garden?